Welcome to the TrueSpace 5 animation tutorial series. In this introduction, I wish to cover a few key concepts that we need to understand before we continue, and they are time, keyframes, and in-betweening, or tweening as is common in the industry, and how they relate to each other. Let's talk about time first. The running character on the screen was animated over 64 frames. At 30 frames per second NTSC, that is just over 2 seconds of animation. So when you think of the number of frames, think in terms of time. Next, let's talk about keyframes. A keyframe is a particular point in time or frame at which you want TrueSpace to remember how you want an object to look. This can be a move, a rotation, a scale, as well as many other keyframeable events in TrueSpace. In the case of our running character, our keyframes are at frame 0, frame 12, frame 16, and so on. I basically told TrueSpace how I wanted my object to look at these points in time. This brings up in-betweening, or tweening. TrueSpace automatically generates the frames between my keyframes. For example, between frames 0 and 12, TrueSpace generates the frames 1 through 11 for me, which creates a smooth and fluid animation and takes a lot of work off the animator. Let's bring up a less complex object for this next part, as well as show you the custom toolbar I use when setting up an animation. The configuration I use is available with this tutorial series, and basically I have expanded the frame number manipulation tools so that they're visible at all times. On our simple model, I wish to move down through the hierarchy of glued up parts, and you can use the toolbar buttons or the keyboard arrow keys, or you can also move the little sphere and highlight the objects or parts of the object that you wish to manipulate. I would also like to show you real quickly how things actually work. Here we're able to use the manipulation tool to rotate along the z-axis this complete section or subsection of our complete object. And now using the sphere we can select another segment of our object and rotate it as so. But I need to show you how things move the way they do and why it's important to set these things up beforehand. And what I want to show you is the axis or the point of rotation for these objects and grouped objects. It is important that you place this axis in the proper place before you do any animation, because you will not be able to change it after there's animation properties given to your object. And you will notice by the placement of the axis everything moves exactly the way I intended.